The #1 question I always get asked is, how do you thrift for the good stuff? Today I'm sharing all my secrets on how to thrift home goods this year. With you, that's right, you right there, you right there. When I first walk into the thrift store, I always want to go straight to the home goods. But my first instinct is to scan the store, look all the way around, and if you see something from across the room, you better make a beeline for it. So don't just have one section in mind. Like if you see something amazing, go for it, go get it. Because the chances are that someone else is gonna see it too, they're gonna want it, and they're gonna get to it before you. My first stop is the lamps. Okay, y'all, the lamps are a 2-for-1 special. #1, you get an added layer of light no matter where you put the lamp, which is always a bonus. But lamps add so much character, so much personality, and they're a DIYer's dream because they're very simple to paint or upcycle and make completely new again and tailor it to your home. Getting a lamp pre-loved at the thrift store is always the best way to instantly add some affordable upgrades to your home. Next up, the glass section. Now, the glass section is not to be overlooked, okay? This is a section for beautiful glasses, barware, fancy decanters, candle holders, decorative dishes, some jewelry holders, ashtrays that you can turn into jewelry holders, the list goes on. Any number of these pieces can also be used as a great base for a really great DIY project like candles, gift baskets. These are just perfect foundations for the ideal DIY. The next section I always hit is tchotchkes and vases. Listen, I'm not talking about your grandmama's tchotchkes, okay? I live for this section because this is a place where I can find really unique items that tell my story. For me, I love vintage, I love glam, I especially love vintage glam, anything from the 80s, anything that's got a little bit too much on it. I love gaudy finishes like marble and travertine and all of those things. And this is the section that I always find the things that are really unique to me. Now, that's my favorite things, but for you, you may love really modern things or really glamorous things, and you can find a lot of really unique and affordable tchotchkes in the tchotchke aisle. I also love vases because they kind of go along with tchotchkes in terms of telling my story, but vases are a really great way to add some personality, some flavor, and some flair into your home. Plus, just like lamps, they're easy to upcycle and DIY. A quick dusting of spray paint, honey, and you have got something that is customized and tailored to your home that was also affordable. Let's get into the art. For me, art is the jewelry to the home, and I love the art section. Sometimes it can look a little jankly and gangly, but let me just tell you, there are some real gems up in that art section, honey. Do not pass it by. I'm talking Smithsonian quality art, and a lot of people have found some real art up in there. The art section is not to be overlooked. I always look for sign pieces. I looked for original oil paintings. I looked for great frames. Even if I have to upcycle the art itself, the framing alone can be worth the investment of time. You can really zhuzh up some art too with a beautiful gallery light. I will link one below that I love, but gallery art is a great way to instantly upgrade some thrift store art, and now you really look like you have a museum in your house. Hello, isn't that the goal? Up next, I always stop at the books section. Beautiful hardback books, they are not cheap, but I am. And I always thrift books. A beautiful collection of books in a home can really tell your story. So whether you're into art or fashion or photography or all three, you can really buy these big, beautiful books at the thrift store for pennies on the dollar, and it'll start to tell your story, things that you're interested in. Plus, I think they look very fancy and very smart in a home, and I like to look fancy and I like to look smart. It's a win-win. Sometimes you'll find a great book that's a great size and even a great subject, but the cover's kind of wonky or gross. Sometimes the cover is great. You can keep it just the way it is, but sometimes the cover can be raggedy. So take that cover off. You've got a beautiful, pristine book right underneath that you can add to your collection. Now, I love putting my books out in groups of 3 with a little tchotchke or something on top, a candle, a vase, whatever. These are just ways to affordably put out new collections in your home. Really tells your story, looks so personalized, looks so luxurious, and you only spend a few bucks at the thrift store. My absolute favorite aisle in the thrift store is the odds and ends aisle. Now, I know you're probably like, what is that? But almost every thrift store has one. It's like that whole long aisle that's collected of a bunch of junk. You don't even know quite what it is. Neither do the thrift store people. They just put a bunch of random stuff on the aisle, all the leftover pieces that don't really have a section. This is my favorite. You never know what you're gonna get. It's like a grab bag. It's like a treasure hunt inside of a treasure hunt, because there could be anything from something really cool and vintage, groupings of things, extra craft supplies, funky sportswear that you didn't even know you needed, but you do need it because you're going on that trip to Bermuda. You just never know what you're gonna find, but I have found some of the best treasures in this aisle. I always find a lot of craft and art supplies in this aisle, and the greatest part about it is that they're usually bundled together at a really low price, and I've got a lot of something that could have cost me a lot of money in a craft store. So those are my top favorite aisles to shop and why in the thrift store for this year. Now let me just say this too. Always keep your head on a swivel. Don't be married to these rules. Make your own. Also, always keep an open mind. You never know where someone's stashing something somewhere, and you never know what's inside of a box. So when you go to the thrift store, have an open mind, an open heart, and just have fun. And last but not least, be kind to everyone there and to the workers as well. I hope this helped. All right, you guys, if you like these tips, I'm gonna be doing a video on how I break down how I shop for clothing at the thrift store, and you know you like it fresh, funky clothing. So please like and subscribe so you won't miss that video. Hope to see you again. See you soon.